kita mulai acara hari ini. Sebelumnya Om akan kasih background sedikit tentang Jojo yang nama lengkapnya Jonathan Xavier Hartono. Jojo ini sekarang peringkat WAGR-nya nomor 427 di dunia. Posisi terbaik yang pernah dia dapat adalah posisi 403. Nah, Jojo mendapatkan WAGR pada usia 14 tahun di event Indonesia Elite Amateur di bulan Februari 2019. Ya. Sekarang Jojo berusia 17 dan di Indonesia saat ini WAGR Jojo berada di nomor 3 ya di antara sesama pemain Indonesia yang lainnya. Gitu. Jojo juga sudah mendapatkan, tadi Om Denny udah mention bahwa Jojo sudah mendapatkan sertifikasi level 2 untuk rules yang level 1-nya didapatkan di 2017, level 2-nya di 2019.
Thank you, Om Gian and Om Denny, for this opportunity. Can everybody see the screen clearly?
Yes.
Okay. So we shall start then. So today we will be discussing penalty areas. What is a penalty area? Penalty areas are bodies of water or other areas defined by the committee where a ball is often lost or unable to be played. In this photo, we see hole 4 of Senayan, and we can see the arrows pointing to penalty areas. We have two types of penalty areas. In golf, we have yellow stake and we have red stake. The differences are only on the relief options. Both of them are penalty areas. Before we start talking about penalty areas, we all must know what is the last point of entry. The last point of entry is the point where the ball last crossed into the penalty area. This is the point to start measuring your relief area. So we can see the white dotted line is the line of the ball flight. Now the ball ended up right in the middle of this lake, but the last point of entry is on this X right here. So we should start measuring our relief area at the last point of entry, which is this X. We'll start with yellow penalty areas. We have two options of relief for yellow penalty areas that are always available. The first option, if player A hits his ball into the water right here, into the yellow penalty area right here, you have the option of stroke and distance, which is to come back to your last shot that went into the penalty area and play the shot from over here with 1 stroke penalty. Or you have a second option. The second option is called back on the line. Back on the line is shown with number 2. From the entry point, the last point of entry right here, you draw a straight line from the pin to point X, backwards as long as you want on this dotted line, and you can drop anywhere here. In this case, you can see the player decided to drop on point 2 right here. And once you selected your point, you can go 1 club length left of that or right of it. Same thing back here on number.
Cukup jelas semuanya? Ada yang mau diklarifikasi lagi based on gambar ini? Jadi ini opsi ini berlaku untuk penalty area kuning ya. Gitu.
Yellow is not the most common. Normally, you would see red penalty areas in golf courses in Indonesia because red has an advantage that is simpler, which is the lateral relief, the first option here. Lateral relief is only available in red penalty areas, and it is a 2 club length relief. You might know this because most of the penalty areas are red here. It's shown on number 3. So where this player hits her ball into the water over here, at her point of entry on a red penalty area, you can take lateral relief. You can take 2 club lengths to the side, nowhere near the hole. But you, of course, because it's a penalty area, you can still come back, stroke and distance to your last shot, or you can also draw a line backwards on number 2. So,
Oke, ada
Yan can
pertanyaan?
summarize.
Udah jelas? Jadi situasinya pemain mukul dari sini pertama, dari titik 1, Om gerakin mouse Om, tapi mouse-nya Jojo harusnya. Anyway, tapi bolanya masuk di sini kan, di yang putih.
Right.
Jadi point of entry-nya di titik X. Nah, opsinya yang pertama adalah tentunya pukul di tempat semula dengan istilahnya stroke and distance penalty. Jadi jadi harusnya next shot pukulan kedua jadi pukulan ketiga dari titik 1. Atau kalau kira-kira situasinya lebih baik, kalian bisa drop dari titik masuknya bola ini, titik X, ambil 2 club length, menyamping ya. Prinsipnya tidak boleh mendekati hole, nanti drop di dropping area di situ, baru pukul, atau tarik garis lurus dari titik masuk ke pin, tarik sejauh-jauhnya ke belakang. Nah, dari situ juga boleh ditentukan di area yang 2 club. Itu aja. Ada pertanyaan? Cukup jelas?
And remember, the 2 club length is only on red penalty areas. You cannot do 2 club length in the yellow penalty areas. Now, this is a simulation of a real story that happened to my group in Kejurnas a few years ago. This is Gading Raya of hole 4. If you can picture hole 4, or this is a very simple diagram of hole 4. Now, player, I'm not going to mention his name, but he hit his ball right here. Yeah, it is. I mean, he's playing with me.
Yeah, with you.
So he hit his ball right there, right where this white dot is. That's his ball, and this is his ball flight. Now, this is a red penalty area, and we had a very long argument about this. So he wanted to drop his ball, right? Because it's in the water, of course. He wants to drop his ball. Now, where do you think he should drop his ball? Can he drop it here?
Situasinya adalah ada pemain, ini real case ya, kasus yang terjadi. Di boxnya ada di kanan ini, ping areanya di kanan. Nah, kalau kita akan mungkin akan banyak event juga di Gading Raya, jadi ini real. T-box ada di kanan, pemain mukul dari T-box, bolanya masuk ke bundaran putih, ya. Nah, menurut siapa yang bisa jawab? Dia harus dropnya di mana nih kalau kasusnya kayak gini? Bisa nggak drop di titik 1, di daerah titik 1 tuh, angka 1, atau di mana? Kalau kasusnya seperti ini. Coba, Galih atau siapa? Husen bisa jawab? Galih, Husen? Galih pukul dari T-box lagi. Oke, yang lain? Kenapa Galih jawab pukul dari T-box lagi, Galih? Dijawab aja, Mak Galih.
It might be muted, I think.
Halo?
I think they're muted on.
Drop from last point of entry. Rama jawab. Oke. Ya.
Where is the last point of entry?
Last point of entry-nya mana, Rama?
The T-box.
T-box. Oke. Last point of entry. Ayo, jangan lupa kalau mau jawab di unmute. Halo? Oke, Jo. Jawabannya cukup oke. Galih belum terlalu yakin, tapi oke. Drop from last point of entry sih selalu jadi opsi ya. Silakan Jojo, lanjutkan deh.
Okay, so if we go on this case, the last point of entry is actually on number 2. Why is he not allowed to drop on number 1? Well, his ball never crossed this point. So by the rules, if he drops it here, he plays it in the wrong place. So he's not allowed to drop it here. His last point of entry is over here. So he can, in theory, do 2 club lengths here, draw a straight line backwards, from the point to over here, or of course he can replay his tee shot over here, which in this case he replayed his tee shot. So you have to make sure the last point of entry, you know where it is, and that's the main thing if you went in a penalty area.
Nah, pertanyaan ini aja simple. Kalau kita pilih pukul dari teeing area di sini, boleh di-tee lagi nggak bolanya?
Is that for me or?
No, for everybody. No,
Okay.
for you lah. Ayo, siapa yang bisa jawab? Boleh pakai tee lagi nggak?
Yang jauh dapat hadiah nggak?
Sementara belum.
Oh, okay.
Nicholas bilang boleh. Yang lain?
Boleh.
Sip. Good, Rama.
Good. You can go back to the tee and re-tee it if
Silakan.
if your original shot was teed off, like from the tee box.
Oke, benar.
Dio ada pertanyaan? Oke, Dio juga ngejawab. Oke, sip. Next.
Okay, now we were talking about club length, right? The way I said you can take a 2 club length drop, or when you've already referenced your point, you do 1 club length to the right or to the left. Now, previously, before 2019, a club length was any club you had in the bag. But in present times of today, a club length is actually a very specific definition. It is the length of the longest club of all the clubs you brought during that round, except your putter. So in most cases, if you have a normal bag, it should be your driver. Now, why is this important? Well, if you don't drop it with your driver, if for an example, you were playing with a golf cart and then your caddy forgot your driver and then, I'll just drop it, whatever, with let's say a 7-iron. Well, that you're deemed to have measured it wrongly, and that's actually a penalty if you proceed to hit the ball. And in normal play, like if you were practicing around, that might not matter. But in a real tournament where somebody notices it, he or she is allowed to bring that up to the referee and tell, well, that guy played from the wrong place, right? He didn't drop it with the correct club. So the club length definition is very important. If you, in any situation that says that the rule book says you need 1 club length, it's the longest club that you have in your bag except your putter. Okay.
Cukup jelas ya definisinya apa yang disebut dengan club length itu. Jadi club length adalah panjang dari panjangnya stick yang paling panjang yang ada di bag kecuali putter. Kenapa kecuali putter? Karena ada beberapa jenis putter yang panjangnya lebih dari driver. Jadi tetap sebaiknya harus gunakan driver untuk reference untuk mengambil pembebasan atau mencari titik dropping areanya yang 2 club length itu. Oke.
Or any club length related drops.
Yeah.
Reliefs, not drops.
Reliefs. Drops.
Now, you might have seen in the bullet points that there were drop zones part of the relief. Now, I didn't mention them because drop zones are actually designated areas to take relief, and they're not always used in a tournament. Like for an example, IJG, they don't always allow drop zones for the older classes, the B class and the A class. So before you play the tournament, make sure you read the terms of competition or the local rules if drop zones are allowed or not. Because if we're using a public course, then the drop area painting that is on the ground, we can't remove the paint, right? So you have to make sure or ask a referee if you're about to use a drop zone, if it's allowed in that tournament or not.
Oke. Jelas ya, untuk drop zone itu adalah area yang ditentukan oleh komite pertandingan untuk mengambil relief, untuk mengambil pembebasan. Karena mungkin situasi di hole itu konturnya terlalu complicated untuk mengambil pembebasan, jadi dibuat drop zone untuk mempermudah dan mempercepat permainan. Tapi yang perlu diingat adalah drop zone tidak selalu digunakan di event-event resmi di turnamen. Jadi penting untuk adik-adik semua untuk cek selalu terms of competition-nya, kondisi pertandingannya atau locker rule-nya. Ya, contohnya IJG rata-rata kayak waktu di Jagorawi kemarin ada beberapa drop zone yang dibedakan. Untuk kelas A dan B mungkin tidak pakai drop zone atau drop zone-nya ada agak di belakang. Untuk kelas C dan D drop zone-nya di depan misalnya gitu. Jadi penting untuk tahu. Jadi belum tentu drop zone yang ada buat kalian mainkan. Tapi kalian harus tahu drop zone mana yang boleh kalian mainkan. Oke, next Joe.
Okay. Now this is a list of what you can do and what you cannot do. So, but the list is a bit boring and I'm pretty sure no one's reading it right now. So we will show pictures. So here we see Rayhan taking a penalty relief from a red stake in hole 3 of, what is this course?
Gunung Gelis ya? Bukan.
Is this Gunung?
Pangkalan Jati nih.
Pangkalan Jati ya?
This is Pangkalan Jati, right?
Apal seragam
taking-
kedinya kayaknya.
He's taking lateral relief from this red penalty area. Now, as you can see, there is a referee here to assist him. So he is taking the correct procedure. He has his longest club in the bag on his hand. He has determined his last point of entry, which is right at that drip that he's got on the ground right there. Now he will measure his relief area 2 club lengths. And now he will put a T to mark his relief area. And from there, he is dropping the ball in the right spot. And the referee will say, your ball is now in play, or your ball is in play. And this is deemed he has dropped correctly and his ball is now in play. And explicitly.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, in a penalty area, if you're not sure, you found a ball, but you're not sure if this is my ball or not, you can identify your ball. Now, there is a specific procedure to identify your ball, which you can check the definition in the rules book later on, but you are allowed to identify your ball in the penalty area. And you should, because if it's not your ball and you hit it, well, you've hit the wrong ball, right? So you have to identify your ball if you're unsure, and you are allowed to do so in a penalty area.
Oke, jadi kalau yang tadi kondisi yang Rehan udah cukup jelas ya. Boleh mengambil relief, menentukan relief area itu 2 club length dari point of entry-nya pakai driver. Nah, dari situ udah selesai 2 club length-nya, dikasih T, jadi kelihatan area ininya, relief-nya, lalu bisa di-drop di situ, dan baru sesudah di-drop dan bolanya berhenti within the area, baru bolanya in play dan bisa dilanjutkan permainan ya. Oke, straightforward. Next shot. Nah, kadang-kadang kan di penalty area kan kondisinya agak ya istilahnya cukup sulit ya. Kadang-kadang kita ragu ini bola kita atau bukan. Jadi kita perlu memastikan bahwa itu adalah bola kita yang akan kita mainkan ya, despite of penalty areanya. Jadi kita boleh identifikasi bola kita. Ada prosedurnya, nanti bisa dicek di rule book. Tapi yang penting kita harus memastikan bahwa kita harus yakin bahwa itu bola kita. Gitu. Jangan sampai Anda memainkan bola yang salah juga, karena akan ada additional penalty untuk itu yang bisa nantilah kita diskusikan di lain topik gitu.
Yes. And then, of course, if your ball is in a penalty area, you are allowed to hit the ball if you desire to. And if it's your ball, after you've identified your ball correctly.
Nah, tentunya di penalty area juga kita selalu bisa, kalau kita putuskan untuk kita pukul bola itu sebagaimana adanya, kita bisa mainkan bola itu. Bukan bisa, dalam arti boleh dimainkan. Ya, silahkan dipukul tanpa penalti tentunya. Gitu.
In a penalty area, previously everything you are not allowed to move. But now, 2019 and above, you are allowed to move stuff like loose impediments. And we can see here, but we do like to warn you that loose impediments are usually stuck to the ball, and moving them is a bit dangerous. So on the screen, you see here, there is a golf ball, and we have 2 pine cones. Pine cones are loose impediments. But if we're gonna move the pine cone here, the ball might move, right? So you have to be careful, because if your ball moves, that's a penalty. So you are allowed to move it, but move it with caution.
Ya. Kalau yang jadi sejak 2018, 2019 di Rules of Golf membolehkan kita memindahkan loose impediment. Loose impediment itu bahasa Indonesianya benda alam lepas kalau nggak salah ya. Jadi cuma kita harus lakukan itu dengan hati-hati, karena biasanya kalau kita nggak hati-hati, kita pindahkan loose impediments-nya, bola kita bergerak. Nah itu juga kan nggak boleh, kita menyebabkan bola kita bergerak. Jadi, nah ini kasus ini sangat menarik nih, yang foto ini Jojo dapat aja lagi foto ini. Atau di setup lagi.
I might have set it up.
Jadi kalau kayak gini ya silahkan tentukan sendiri resiko dan ininya. Harusnya sih udah nggak boleh dipindah. Ini sih udah nggak bisa dipindahkan karena bolanya pasti bergerak.
Yeah. So
Dan berubah laynya.
Now what happens if it moves? What happens if the ball moves?
Ayo, kalau bolanya bergerak gimana? Penalty kan?
Yes, it is a penalty. But if you move it and you hit it, and you move it and you replace it, that's 2 different penalties. We will discuss that in a further
Jadi
session.
banyak.
Now, penalty areas are marked with a stake usually, or a painted line on the ground. Are you allowed to remove the stake? You are, under one condition, that the stake is hindering your swing or your club, but not your ball flight.
Yeah.
So for an example, if a stake is a few meters in front of you, and if
You're
you
going
hit,
that
you're
way.
scared, you're scared of hitting that stake because your ball might hit it, well, you're not allowed to remove that stake, because only one condition, it's your swing, not your ball flight.
Oke.
In
Jelas
this
ya?
picture, you can move it because he's about to hit it and the stake is right there, he's gonna hit it with his club.
Oke.
So, again.
Ya, jadi kalau di penalty area kita bisa pindahkan. Di gambar ini kan udah jelas tuh, kalau dia tangan kanan, pasti dia tangan kanan karena glove-nya tangan kiri tuh. Jadi dia akan swing pada saat dia mau bikin stance, address, dia pasti terganggu oleh stake itu atau patok itu. Jadi kalau kondisinya seperti ini, kita boleh pindahkan. Jadi prinsipnya kita boleh pindahkan patoknya kalau itu mengganggu swing kita. Mengganggu setup kita, itu boleh kita pindahkan. Tapi next slide kali ya, Jo, ada ya kalau nggak salah?
No, we have this photo. It's
kalau misalnya kita mau pukul bola, tapi di depan kita ada patok lainnya sekitar berapa meter dan kita pukul ke arah itu, kita nggak bisa pindahkan karena itu patoknya tidak mengganggu swing kita. Jadi dia nggak ada istilahnya itu, kalau itu line of sight relief-nya nggak ada.
I think it's line of play.
Line of play ya.
Yes, line of play. Line of play is not allowed, but if it's hindering your stance or your swing, which is, there are strict definitions for that you can check in the rule book, you can move the stake. Remove the stake.
And put it back.
Yes, put it back,
Dan
because
setelah
that
pukul
might
jangan
cause
lupa
confusion.
untuk kembalikan selalu patok-patok tersebut.
Yes, thank you for that. Hey, we're done.
Oke. Untuk general penalty areas yellow and red itu tadi topiknya udah yang udah cukup padat ya dijelaskan oleh Jojo. Mungkin ada pertanyaan yang masih belum jelas, silakan.
Jo,
Yes,
halo. Aku mau tanya tuh soal point of entry. Point of entry itu
that's a unique
bagaimana?
topic.
Karena ini kalau lagi ini banyak anak-anak mungkin belum tahu. Om aja kadang-kadang nggak tahu nih point of entry. Semua bilangnya kalau ada mukul tadi di hole 4 yang Gading, dia bolanya ke tengah tiba-tiba slice gitu. Tapi nentunya gimana tuh slice-nya gitu. Nah itu ya kadang-kadang mungkin belum sampai ke arah fairway tetapi dia slice.
Like
Nah,
this.
kata point of entry mungkin kalau bisa di elaborate lebih perjelas gitu. Karena semuanya selalu di situ, oh masuknya dari sini, oh masuk di situ gitu. Jadi coba mungkin diiniin,
Okay.
diperjelas lagi. Thank you, Jo.
Yes, so this is a very good question because this often happens. This is what the player was trying to make a point here, that he wanted to drop on point 1 because he thought his ball sliced into point 1. So if I'm moving the mouse here, so he thought, or he was trying to prove to us, the whole group, that his ball went like this and it sliced into here. If that was the case and his ball did do this, if that was the case, is if somebody saw it in the group or the other players agree within that group that, oh, this player, he hit his ball slicing like this. So now we all agree, or not we all agree, his marker is enough to agree that if his ball slices and they agree it's a slice, well, then the last point of entry is wherever they agree on. But if your marker doesn't agree and you don't have enough proof to prove that your ball sliced to go in and your point of entry is over here, well, we have to go with this assumption that your ball flew in over here, whichever one we all agree on. This is why it is important that if your friend is hitting or you're hitting, you watch your ball until it finishes. Don't just hit and then go eat or whatever. So hopefully that answers your question. Your marker must agree on the last point of entry, not just you. Or you have to have sufficient proof to prove the referee that your ball entered in. Haha, look
Nice,
at
thank you.
that, perfect line.
Seperti itulah. Nah, jadi kita harus setujui sama-sama dengan marker, terutama di mana pada saat bola itu masuk melewati area antara penalty area dan area permainan gitu. Itu aja sih. Dan itu harus
Or
disetujui.
if you can get the referee to allow you to drop it there, you can also drop it there.
Yeah.
Is that clear? So there's either agreement, or you can prove to the committee, if that's the tournament director or the referee, that your ball entered here. If it did slice and you really want to drop it here, then yeah, you can drop it here as long as that.
Okay. Next question. Selanjutnya.
Ayo, ada lagi pertanyaan?
Oh itu, yang patok kuning. Yang patok kuning kan bedanya sama merah itu kan tadi ada Jojo udah ngomong soal lateral sama apa gitu. Nah, kalau patok kuning itu kayak nyebrang ya kalau nggak salah ya. Nah tetapi kadang-kadang nih paling sering dia mukul, ada anak nyebrang kena tanah di sana, bolanya masuk air, nah rame deh tuh dropnya. Jangan itu tuh. Coba yang kayak gitu.
Bolanya jadi dari depan dulu tapi mundur ke belakang. Ya kan?
Iya. Nah,
bolanya
itu
udah
juga
lewat.
kan sering.
Like
Oh,
here,
udah kena tanah tuh.
landed
tanah
here,
depan.
Ya.
and then it rolled backwards
Yeah.
Nah,
and
masuk
ended up
air.
here.
Iya. Ya, itu kalau di kita semua pasti taruh di depan gitu. Nah ini
Iya.
yang mesti lebih dijelasin kan.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Pijitin papa.
Jadi
So
Okay, Jo.
if it's a yellow stake, as what Omrio just said here, and what is illustrated in the poorly drawn line, that the ball landed here, right here, and then it rolled back into. Well, let's come back to the point that you have two options in a yellow penalty relief area.
exactly, that's the point.
The first option is stroke and distance. You come back to point 1, which is your original shot that you hit into the water. Or your second option is to draw a line backwards from the pin and your reference point. Now, there is an important detail here, because this will go into a deeper rule, that if you are taking relief from something, whether that's an obstruction or if that is a penalty area, you must take full relief. You are
Yes.
not allowed to take relief within the penalty area. And you are not allowed to go closer to the pin. So what I mean is, if the ball's entry point, yes, it is here, but back on the line is inside the penalty area, and you're not allowed to drop it on the line. If you went forward a tiny bit over here, that's illegal because you're in front. You've approached, you've come closer to the pin.
Yeah.
So you cannot, by the rules, drop it past here if it is a yellow penalty area. So if you draw a line backwards, well, we have the same line here. It's gonna be behind the water and down that way as far as you want within the golf course.
Oke,
If, however, if this was a red penalty area.
nanti dulu jangan mempersulit dulu, biar dijelasin dulu yang ini, Jo.
Oh, okay, yes, go ahead. Or should I try in Bahasa?
Yeah, please. do.
I'll try. Okay.
Oke.
Jadi kalau ini patok kuning kan, seperti yang Om Rio bilang tadi, balik lagi kepada dia punyanya dua
Definisi.
opsi untuk drop. Yes, dia bolanya jatuh di sini dan entry point-nya di sini, selesainya di sini. Berarti entry point-nya di sini dong,
Yeah.
in front of, di depannya airnya kan. Tapi kan ikuti opsi relief-nya, dia hanya boleh balik ke pukulan sebelumnya, atau dia drop dengan back on the line. I don't know the Indonesia for that. Back on the line, dan line-nya ya dia tuh nggak boleh drop di dalam relief, di dalam penalty area. Jadi di golf kalau kita misalnya ambil relief apapun, kita harus take full relief atau pembebasan apa namanya, full.
Pembahasan secara apa?
Secara
Ya, reliefnya secara maksimal.
Ya, secara maksimal, dan tidak boleh reliefnya setengah-setengahan.
Ya.
Harus full relief, benar-benar full, bebas dari obstruksi atau apapun yang kita mau take relief from. Nah, jadi kita nggak boleh drop di sini nih, walaupun mungkin ini kolam tapi kering misalnya. Nah, kita nggak boleh drop di dalam kolam ini.
Karena kolamnya masih di dalam area kuning.
Ya, karena kolam ini tetap penalty area. Dan kita nggak boleh mendekati hole, seperti mendekati dia jatuh sini dan dia mau drop di sini. Nah, ini kan mendekati hole, karena ya nggak boleh dong mendekati hole. Jadi ya balik lagi, kalau ini patok kuning, dia harus back on the line-nya. Ya dapatnya
ke belakang rintangannya.
Di belakang rintangan lagi. Inilah kenapa mereka pakai patok kuning. Untuk membuat ya sedikit lebih challenging lah lapangannya. Bahwa kalau dia masuk air, walaupun dia bolanya jatuh di sini dan dia gelinding balik, dia tetap harus kena air lagi dari belakang sini, cross the water into the green. Begitu. This is why they have yellow and red. How do I delete the drawing? Here we go.
Oke, udah cukup jelas. Kita pakai ini, kita jelasin sambil jelasin pertanyaannya si Racerin ya.
Oke.
Dia nanya di grup, if the penalty area is a red stake, kita boleh ambil tarik garis atau enggak ya? Atau cuma bisa 2 club length, just making sure. Nah, next slide itu, Jo. Next slide-nya kan ada udah.
Yes.
Nah, itu.
Jadi tarik garis dan stroke and distance, back on the line and stroke and distance is always available on all penalty areas. But on red penalty area, you do have the extra option, which is the lateral relief or 2 club lengths. Previously, red penalty areas are called lateral water hazards.
Ya.
Yellow penalty areas are called water hazards. I don't know why they changed the name, but it would have been better if they stuck with the lateral because we do still have the lateral option here. But that's why red is actually called a lateral water hazard previously, and you're allowed this extra option. The 2 original options are still always available.
Oke, Retren udah jelas. Jadi kalau di apa namanya penalty area yang merah, kita tetap bisa ambil garis lurus seperti ini. Tentunya ke belakang sana. Oke. Nah, Jo, kalau mau cerita yang tadi pakai gambar ini aja kali ya. Mungkin seolah-olah greennya yang di pohon ini nih.
What tree?
Enggak. Gambar situasi yang tadi, yang patok kuning tapi dianggap patok merah.
Okay, so we will imagine.
The green is on the...
Yes, we will imagine that. Let's draw a green art. So we will think, well, maybe not a green line. Here's the green and here's my pin.
Okay.
Okay. So we're gonna explain if this weird, poorly drawn drawing is the green. And your ball, let's get a different line. We can.
Samping sini aja. Samping
Okay, your ball flew in, landed here, and then it rolled down back into the water. Okay, but this is red this time. So again, we have 3 options. The first one being come back to your original shot. The second one being draw a straight line backwards as far as you want within the golf course. Or because this is a lateral water hazard, you can take lateral relief. Now, lateral relief is where you can do 2 club lengths, 1 club, well, maybe not like that. Oh, I deleted the green.
Ya udah nggak apa-apa, jelas kok masih ada pinnya itu.
Okay. We can take 1 club and 2 club right here. You are allowed, well, if from over here, yeah, where the ball went in, you can take 2 club lengths sideways. 2 club lengths as long as you don't come closer to the hole, not sideways, not strictly sideways. You can go sideways or you can go slightly backwards. It's up to you. But you are allowed, if your ball really landed here and then rolled back in, and this is the pin, you can take lateral relief this way, or you can take lateral relief that way, whichever one you want. 2 club lengths over here is allowed on red penalty areas. This is why they have red, to allow you to drop past the water if your ball did land here and then roll back down. I don't think you can see anything now with the amount of lines. So yes, again, I will simplify this and you can translate it.
Nah, jadi ini kita mencoba merubah situasi yang tadi di slide sebelumnya. Kalau kita gambarkan ini greennya di sini, seperti Jojo lagi gambar, ini anggap aja ini pin hitam ini green. Jadi bolanya udah maju sampai depan, sampai area permainan di sini, tapi bolanya roll back, bergulir balik lagi masuk ke penalty area. Nah, opsinya tetap kan, opsi 1 pukul dari tempat asalnya, opsi 2 kita tentukan point of entry-nya, luruskan ke pin, kita tarik garis lurus ke belakang sejauh-jauhnya selama masih di lapangan dan ya bisa ditentukan sendiri. Nah, karena ini general penalty area merah, jadi ada opsi lagi yang 2 club length, menyamping. Menyamping dan ingat prinsipnya tidak mendekati hole. Itu boleh diambil di depan sini. Kalau bolanya sudah menyentuh area permainan dan masuk ke dalam. Jadi entry point-nya kan di depan sini.
Mendekati hole itu seperti apa? Mendekati hole itu seperti ini. Nah, ini mendekati hole. Ini
mendekati
nggak
hole.
boleh nih drop di sini.
Hmm.
Or straight that way. I mean, that's cheating. What are you doing?
Gitu. Oke, cukup jelas. Ada pertanyaan lagi? Jadi salah satu key point-nya adalah jangan lupa kalau Anda mengambil mau menentukan relief area itu, gunakan drivernya.
And determine your last point of entry.
Dan determine last point of entry, ya.
The last point of entry. Where's the driver side? Oh, it's far away. Ah, here we go. The length of the longest club. If you didn't bring a driver, then whatever is your longest club.
Grace Jocelyn. Nah,
Oh, we have a question.
jika bola ngangkut di akar pohon besar, itu hitungannya bagaimana? Oke, dijawab aja lah, nggak apa-apa lah.
Okay, this is a
Mungkin
common
Grace,
question.
mungkin Grace Jocelyn ini terlalu sering main di Rawamangun sepertinya.
Okay,
Lumayan
so
ya.
pohon besarnya, apakah pohon besarnya di general area atau di penalty area? But either way, you have to play it, no matter what. Sorry.
Jadi harus naik ke pohon itu gitu, Jo ya.
Enggak,
Mukul
nyangkut
di
di
sana.
akar, nyangkut di akarnya
Akar
berarti di bawah.
pohon itu definisinya ya integral part of the course.
Ya.
Berarti dia bagian dari lapangan yang harus dihadapi oleh pemain. Jadi sebaiknya sih jangan pukul ke akar pohon ya.
I know lah. Everybody knows
Because it just makes your life harder really if you hit it next to a tree. So I would suggest not to hit it next to a tree.
Jadi Jocelyn udah jelas ya. Akar pohon itu adalah bagian dari lapangan. Kita anggap aja ini bolanya nggak di penalty area. Di penalty area pun, jadi ya tetap bola itu harus dipukul.
Okay, so we're gonna need your phone to join the quiz because we're using a website called Kahoot. Dan kita akan bikin tes quiz dulu satu agar quiznya fair. Jadi akan ada tes quiz beberapa pertanyaan yang tidak berhubungan dengan penalty area. It's a trial quiz.
Pakai Kahoot.
Pakai Kahoot, betul.
Yeah. Okay, so can everybody see the screen now?
Ya, Jo.
Okay, so read the instructions. This is a trial quiz to test if we can all understand and play the real quiz fairly. So it's very simple. Go to the website. I shall go to the website too. Okay, we shall start now. This is a trial quiz with 4 questions. So the questions will appear on the Zoom screen in front of you. And now you will have to answer with your phone. So have your phone. So have your phone with you and answer with your phone. This is also timed. So you have to answer within the allowed time. That's kind of surprising. That's actually quite surprising. RNA stands for Royal and Ancient. Please, since this is a rules webinar, RNA stands
Sabar, Jo,
for Royal and
sabar,
Ancient.
Jo.
Okay.
Gian Perkasa. Do you win?
Me.
It's definitely the first option.
False.
Okay, so let's see. On this trial quiz, on this trial quiz,
Why is it hard?
and the winner of the trial quiz, Om Raka.
Wah, Raka dasar wartawan.
He's a journalist. Of course he wins.
Okay, good.
Okay, so everybody got the hang of it for this quiz. We will do the actual quiz then. Oh, the admin's here. Okay, we'll start now, yeah? This is the actual quiz, so prizes. Final question.
It's a good picture, Joe.
What the heck is this?
This is the best picture I can find. Oh, the majority got it right. Very nice.
I have the rule book, but I don't read it.
That's your fault. You should read it. We shall see the final leaderboard.
Caitlin. Najwa.
Ya,
And the winner,
Sin, siapa Sin?
Cynthia. Juara 3-nya Caitlin, juara 2 Najwa, juara 1 Cynthia.
Mantap.
Okay, so these three will be getting a prize from IJG. I think we will present them an options, and the admin will do that, right? So,
Ya,
congratulations. I should clap, clap, clap.
congratulations.
Oke, congratulations all to all winners.
Terima
Thank you
kasih
semua.
semua. Jadi ini kita mulai seri pertama. Ntar next time-nya coba kita atur bentuk rule berikutnya ya. Semoga momen ini dipakai supaya nanti adik-adik turun ke lapangan udah paham khususnya area penalti.